Hi, this is Holly from Holly's Pandorium, and I have my husband Doug here with me today. Hello, Doug.
Hello.
So, we have some interesting things to talk about tonight, and this is a subject that people ask me about a lot, so I thought it was time to kind of address this. Um, People ask, how do you know if you have spirit guides, or does everybody have spirit guides? And that's a really good question. That's a fantastic question. Um, to answer you simply, have I seen everyone's spirit guides that I've done a reading for? No, I have not. Do I believe that everyone has spirit guides? Yes, I do. And the reason why is because of my belief system. My belief system is such that I believe that people choose the lives that they are in. And I believe that when you are assigned to go into the life that you're currently living, that you have people that are assigned to you or spirits that are assigned to you to help you stay on course. It is my belief that people have things to learn in their lives, and that's because I believe in multiple lives. So if you think this is a one and done, or whether you think that this is a multiple life journey, whatever it is, consider the idea that because there are so much going on in our lives, that it kind of makes sense that we might have help here and there. And Doug has recently heard one of his spirit guides, and this is a really new thing for Doug. And most of the time people can't discern between their own internal voice and a spirit guide, but the way I can tell you just off the get-go to help you kind of discern what's you and what's not you. um, there are often times when you're stressed, especially, or a time when you might be contemplative about what to do. And it could be something as simple as you're going to go somewhere and you're not sure which direction to turn, and there's a still small voice that sounds like your voice that says turn left, and you don't know why it's turning left because normally you turn right. That's usually a spirit guide telling you that. That's It's a different situation, and the way you'll start to learn about them is to ask. You can actually talk to your spirit guides and say, I want to get to know you better, help me understand. A recent guest that I had, Terry the Stoic Medium, talks about spirit guides, and he encourages people to address them. And the one on my left and the one on my right, because usually people have at least two, and help me to understand you and know you better. That's one way to do it. Another way is just to talk to them. You don't necessarily hear an audible voice return, but you can ask for signs. You can ask them to show you things that you will understand, that will make sense to you. The old idea that every communication with the dead, or with a spirit guide of some kind, is somehow going to attach evil to you is complete hooey. There's no truth to that. Um, yes, there's bad things in the world. However, spirit guides are not one of them. And as long as you are protecting yourself, you can pray or meditate or just say very simply, I'm covered by white light, I am protected, and you are. It's not a big magical thing. It's not something really complicated. It's actually quite simple. What are the advantages of having a spirit guide? Input, getting input. Spirit guides are not there to stop us from learning things. They are not Santa Claus. They do not fix everything for us. So we're here to learn stuff. They're here to help us sort things out, whether it's something tiny or something enormous. But there's support. There's someone there to listen when you just need to talk, and there's someone to help boost you when you're feeling bummed. They're also someone to kind of confirm your thoughts when you're thinking that you might want to do something. They help you to decide, yeah, this is the right thing to do. They help you with science to help you know that you're making the right change, or decision. So,
Well, and don't, and also, I mean, at least in my case, you have described that um, in some capacity they're there to protect you.
yes, absolutely. That's a really good point. Thank you for bringing that up. Um, Doug, do you want to talk about when we first discovered who your spirit guides were and what that was like for you?
Sure. Well, first off, living with you, I've always known that they exist. They're there, but we had never delved into what mine are. And so one day we decided to do that. And the first one to come through and present himself is Bobby, or Robert, but we call him Bobby. And he's amazing. He, I've been told that he has a blue aura hue to him, and he is very flamboyant, and he is definitely my creative artistic side, being a musician. And
Absolutely.
yeah, he's very theatrical. He's an absolute kick. And then after that, this, I guess you'd say, female presence came through, and she goes by the letter K. She's never revealed her name, and she has the stature of like a Valkyrie. She's very intimidating. She's very powerful,
Hmm.
and and in fact, in some of the seances, um, we have been told that she's more powerful than we even know.
Right.
Um, don't really know what that means. She's
Right.
never revealed any of that, but
Right.
she sticks very close to me.
Yeah, she does.
Um, and she has relayed that um, her and I have been together for a very, very long time. She
Yes.
described one of my past lives as, being, like a Neanderthal, a caveman.
Right.
Um, another one was I was a violin player, say, like in the Renaissance or something like that, who had a penchant for blueberries.
Hmm.
Um, so she's been with me a very, very long time.
Yeah, which is kind of amazing and wonderful. And recently you had an experience where you heard one of your spirit guides. Can you share what that was like?
Absolutely. It was early in the morning, and I was kind of in that state in between asleep and awake. Like you're just starting to wake up. And I had had a pretty uh, restless night. Tossing and turning. My brain's always going. So I have a hard time meditating and concentrating and things like that. And all of a sudden in my head, I hear this voice, and it said, "What's on your mind, Douglas?" So I immediately knew it wasn't my thought, because I never ever refer to myself as Douglas.
Right.
It would have never crossed my mind to even do that. So immediately I knew it was one of them. And so I so I immediately just started going through my brain. Well, I've got this going on with the band, and this show, that show, finances, health. I just started answering the question. What's on my mind. And so once I was done with that, Holly had already been up for hours, so I got up and I came out and said, "Hey, guess what?" And she said most likely it was Kay, because she would talk like that.
Right.
So that was a really, really cool and interesting exchange, because I had never ever experienced anything like that. My I have a hard time meditating, relaxing, disengaging my brain in order to be still enough to hear them. So that was pretty phenomenal.
Right. And most people do. And for anyone that can hear the wheezing sound
Yeah,
behind Doug, that
that's our
is
French
that is our
bulldog.
dog.
That's Gizmo.
And she's quite healthy and fine, I assure you.
Yeah,
She
she's just
has a
snoring.
squished face, and so all of her breathing sounds asthmatic or a little weird. It's just she's a Frenchie, and that's just how she rolls. That's how she makes noise.
Yeah.
Um, my spirit guides are a little different than Doug's. I actually have a gentleman that's I believe from a Viking tribe of some kind or something along those lines, Nordic in some way. And he spells his name Ian, but it's not pronounced Ian, it's pronounced Ian.
Yeah.
He's been with me forever. Uh, Ian has shown up several times when I do readings for other people, and he actually has a couple of people that he visits with. So, and I know this may sound really funny, but I delight in this because of my ability to see things in the spirit. So, the first time this happened, I was doing a reading for someone in another state in the US. And as she and I were communicating, her spirit guide and my spirit guide, Ian, were sitting around a campfire talking like two old friends.
Because her spirit guide was Viking-ish also.
Yes. And
So
so Ian
it
is,
was like they were old friends.
yes. And Ian literally looks to me like a crazy caveman. He wears animal skins. I mean, think John the Baptist, eating grasshoppers and raw honey and never combed his hair and speaks very abruptly and very boldly. Um, he's definitely got this um, very concise manner of communication. He doesn't flower paint anything for me. He's very direct.
Not.
He calls me out on the rug plenty and lets me know, hey, what are you doing? you know, no, and yes, and just, very, very direct communication. He's very fun. And I have Bear Man, who I typically don't see or feel unless I'm doing a seance. Then he is right next to me on my left. And then I have a gray wolf that shows up. And the gray wolf for me, I don't know that he's necessarily my spirit guide, but this gray wolf
Maybe
creates this incredible energy when he comes around. And
he may be animal spirit or an animal totem or
right, I'm
something.
not really sure. I mean, genuinely, um, I don't have all the answers to these things. I can just share what I see and hear and what I feel. And the gray wolf has come alongside me when I've done readings for protection and for information.
Yeah.
He
He's
shares
also
information with
huge.
me.
He's
He's
like
massive.
yeah.
He's
He's
massive.
like this. He's like the size of a Volkswagen bus.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah. He's huge.
Um, and I will say that I have seen people add and subtract spirit guides. So it's not necessarily that you will only have one spirit guide your whole life. They sometimes have different jobs and different responsibilities because they specialize in different things. And as I've talked with many psychics in my lifetime, I can tell you that ask. You know, there's lots of religions that talk to you about communicating with your higher power and whatever that may be. And I genuinely believe that this is an avenue you should consider only because we're in such a time, we're living in such an amazing life, a lifetime, and we all need a little help and we all need a little support. And wouldn't it be amazing to have a link to something beyond yourself that's your team spirit? Think of your spirit guides as somebody that's agreed to come along and hang out with you for the majority of your life, or maybe your entire life in some cases.
Or multiple lives.
Right. And they know more about your soul than you can acknowledge at this point, and they love you from the minute you wake up till all of your night's sleep. They're
Yeah.
awake and they're hanging out with you and they're watching you fart, they're watching you laugh, they're watching you cry. They're there to be your support. And no, they're not spying on you. They're there for your support. And yes, they do give you privacy. Don't worry about that. It's not that invasive, but they're there with you in spirit to be part of whatever it is your experience is going to be. And so take a minute and try. In this new awakening that we have, this incredible psychic energy is booming this year. 2024 is full of amazing stuff. I'm so excited, you guys. I wanted to bring this up because I want more people to know that this is something you can check out. You can check in with a psychic like myself or a medium and ask for help to link up. Sometimes another person has an easier time seeing your guides than you might initially. Um, but it starts with you. It starts with you, and it's about you. This is for you. As many times as we go through life as adults and feel alone or overwhelmed because we have to make all these decisions, adulting is not easy. So anything that can help you feel better and feel stronger or feel more confident about what you're doing, spirit guides are your jam. This is the group that's around you, and this is family. This is generational family
Yeah,
that's going to stay.
they're your ride and die, right?
Yeah, definitely. And
Ride or
to
die.
answer the obvious question I hear a lot is it my mom? Is it my dad? Is it my uncle or my auntie or my brother that died? Not normally, but they do come and see you, and they do visit, and they do check on you. They have other stuff to do in their incarnations, and unless they are linked into someone else full time, they can come and go and see you fairly easily. There are times when people ask to talk to someone. I'm just going to jump over for a second. When we're talking about connecting with loved ones, please don't get frustrated if your loved one doesn't just show up all the time when you ask for them. They may have a life contract that they've started with another family member, and that's their assignment. And it doesn't mean that they can't visit you once in a while, but don't feel like they don't love you or don't want you if they don't show up at a drop of a hat. Um, Believe it or not, the spirit world is quite busy. When we pass on, we have dinners. We gather with other family members in our soul groups, and that's something that maybe you haven't heard before. Um, we travel in groups. Someone that is your brother or your mom or your uncle might be your cousin in a next life.
Right.
Um, we have these wonderful groups that go together for many, many generations, and it makes for an amazing bond with people. I know that when you're listening to this or watching this, you can tell me at least one or two times in your life when you've met someone and thought, I feel like I've known you my whole life. That's a sign. That's one of those connections that's beyond what you have right now. And that to me is beautiful and amazing that we travel these long journeys with each other in groups. Um, it takes a village, and we're all together doing this together. And I'm telling you, you guys, 2024 is an amazing expanse. We're going to have some bumps in the road, and we're going to have some traffic and some stress, but we're also going to have this amazing bouquet of wonderful enjoyment. There's going to be an expanse for so many of us. And if you're stuck, if you're feeling kind of overwhelmed, take a minute, try to get your thoughts together. I know our brains are like drunken monkeys. I get that. There's lots of apps. There's Calm and all these other ones that help you to just relax. And let me just share this with you. Meditation does not mean your brain is silent. It is not. It means that you have an intention to your thoughts. That's all. The fact that you're thinking about laundry or what you need to do in 2 days is normal, and you're completely okay to do that. It takes a long time to calm your thoughts down. Don't give up. Put on a wonderful song that you love. Listen to something that's calming, or turn everything off. Sometimes that works better. Um, I've talked with several people recently that have told me that they have to have complete silence. Other people, like myself, I can't think calmly unless I have background noise. I need white noise or brown noise or something to help my brain distract so that I can focus and set an intention.
Right.
And I'm suggesting that this year your intention is to get to know your spirit guides. Uh,
Well, I
Again,
think it's also important to say that spirit guides aren't necessarily your guardian angels or anything
correct.
like that.
That's right. That's right. So explain what you mean by that, Doug.
Um, well, they're, I mean, it's all energy, but
Yes.
and I'm not really sure what the difference is because I've not personally seen an angel, or
Okay.
um, but but it's my understanding that that those are two different things. A
Yes,
guardian angel is different than a spirit guide.
right. Um, Spirit guides, again, are a support system. A guardian angel is just that. A guardian angel is someone or an energy or a personification of something that you might recognize. Um, they show up in different forms. And I know that we've all heard one or two stories about, you know, someone got in a car wreck and they got drug out of the car. And there was this woman or this man there that said, "You're going to be okay. The ambulance is on its way." And you turn around for a second and boom, they're gone. That's a guardian angel. Um, that getting ready to leave to go somewhere, I can totally testify to this one. I have everything ready to go. Everything's smooth and great and all lined up. The car's loaded. I've got my iced tea. I've got my purse. I got my keys. And then, ooh, I sprained my ankle. And I got to go sit down and ice my ankle, and now I can't go. And then I turn on the news, and there was this massive car wreck. Okay, thank you. So guardian angels don't always work to harm us, to distract us, but they help us in unusual and amazing ways to help us to not be where we don't need to be.
Right.
And likewise, they also help us find what we need to find. They bring things to our attention. Guardian angels deliver news, guardian angels protect, guardian angels bring information, good and bad. And they're rather stoic. They're not bubbly, fuzzy little cherubs with wings. They're usually kind of serious and not as warm and fuzzy as you might imagine. um, but they're kind of badass. They're kind of amazing, and they do things. They have different roles. There's lots of different levels of angels. That's another subject we'll go into. Um, but genuinely, it's kind of incredible, this the service that's around us in the means of energies. There's our guardian angels, there's our spirit guides, there's our past family members from this incarnation and other incarnations. When we do a seance, and Doug can tell you it's incredible, is although he doesn't see what I see, he feels it. And so when somebody passes on, the veil is open, and I literally see a door open and a light. And sometimes there's one person, sometimes there's a room full. It all depends. And people come to help someone go into the veil, into the
Right.
other side.
Well, I'm
The
just one of the last ones we did. I mean, they were coming out of the woodwork for to help this one spirit cross over. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, there was a town full of them.
Mhm.
It was huge.
Yeah. Which is unusual. It's not usually like that. It's usually a few people. Um, but it's kind of amazing, and people wonder, well, why doesn't a spirit cross over? Because they don't want to. We have choices all along.
Yeah,
As much as we
we
have,
always have free will.
yes, we do. We do. We have lots and lots of choices. And it's kind of amazing that we do uh, get to learn so much. And so spirit guides are different for everybody. They're not the same. Does everybody have at least two? I think so. That's what I've seen and what I've learned. But sometimes there's more. I have seen more. And again, spirit guides can come in for a length of time for an event, for a subject. I interviewed someone that explained that they asked for help and they got a spirit guide while they were in school to help them study. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, I've had people that had spirit guides when they're pregnant, and it's the spirit guide for the child, and then for them to get through the pregnancy and whatnot. I've had spirit guides show up for jobs. I've had spirit guides show up from needing a flat tire change, and they're just there for moral support. They do all kinds of things. They're not just observers. They're not just a Mrs. Kravitz in your life to spy on you. They're
Right.
genuinely there to help you feel supported
Right.
and heard.
Well, and like in my case, when we do these seances, sometimes, not very often, not very often at all, um, some negative energies try to interlope into the seances.
Right.
They're not really allowed to, but they try to.
Right.
And immediately, all of our spirit guides kind of go on the defense.
Yeah.
You know, um, Kay gets very, very close to me
Yep.
if there's something circling around me, trying to with ill intent.
Right.
Um, yeah, and same with Ian and Bellman with you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, both of them have been known to throw spirits out.
Yeah. And they will. And that can happen for you too. Even if you're not ever aware of your spirit guides, they're doing things for you that you don't even see or realize. And I can tell you that I hear a lot from spirit guides when they talk to me, and they do. Um, they get exasperated when we don't notice them. They genuinely have emotion just like we do. And spirit guides oftentimes just want you to know that they're there and that they're listening, or that you're going to be okay if you're going to get through something.
Right.
Spirit guides, uh, how do you talk to them? Like you would anybody else. Anybody else. Um, you can do something, just think generically, it's not anything fancy. Hey,
Yeah.
spirit
Say good
guide.
morning to them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Say good
when you
morning, say hello. I'm really glad, I know you're here. I know I can't hear you, but I would like to, or I would like you to show me something that won't scare me, that will help me understand that you're close by, or that you're
right.
with me, or give me an idea what your personality's like. I'd like to know more about you. Um, you can ask. These are things you can ask.
Well, and when Bobby first introduced himself to us, and Holly's translating, what he's saying, and you know, we hadn't. I mean, Holly and I've been together for years, and we'd never attempted to contact my spirit guides. And after introducing himself and bowing, very theatrical, Bobby goes, "Oh my God, it's about time."
And he made a comment about Doug's attire that was really
Right.
funny. Really funny. Do you remember what
Yeah,
he
he
said?
hates that I wear a lot of black. Yeah, he doesn't like my Johnny Cash face.
Oh my gosh. He said, if I see one more black shirt, I don't know what I'm going to do, but you need to wear some color. I mean, he was just on Doug's butt about
Right.
changing to brighten things up and be more, fun and vibrant with his colors. It was great.
Yeah. See, and on the other hand, Kay is very stoic. She doesn't crack jokes. She doesn't.
Never.
And if I say something stupid or funny or silly, she's been known to slap me on the back of the head.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's
Literally,
happened more than once, according to
which
Holly.
I enjoy immensely. She's kind of like, for Doug, she's kind of like the big sister. She's somebody that knows him inside and out. She knows him on a cellular level, and she loves him so deeply, and she connects with him in such a way and encourages him, and is just right there. She is always right there. In fact, I'm working on some videos to show you guys what we have found on the SLS cameras.
Mm-hmm.
I can actually show you Kay walking with Doug, and it's so fun for me to use technology and get to back up what I see. It's kind of amazing, and I love that.
Yeah,
Um,
we literally have footage of me in our kitchen, and I'm getting a cup of coffee, so my back is to the camera.
right,
And if you're familiar with the technology, it outlines a basically like a stick figure type of thing,
right,
um,
yes,
that shows what's there, and you can see my outline, my stick figure on top of me, and then say like 6 inches to one side, there's another signature, and that's K. And
yeah,
I mean, just right there, right on me.
right.
and she's always there.
Right. And I'm so excited that she was able to be captured, because as a medium and psychic, I see her and I feel her. Like, I know the color of her hair. She has blonde hair, and she has a big, formidable body. She has like a linebacker's body. She is built so strongly. She's like,
If you
she has a
if
broad
you're into
shoulders
Game
and
of Thrones, she's Brianna of Tull.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's her. That's very much her.
right.
Um,
Uh,
she's very no nonsense, and she's all about doing things solidly. And so
and she's
she,
very intimidating. A lot of the when we do the seances, there are a number of the spirits that come to visit that need help or want to talk or whatever, and they're intimidated by her. They don't want to stand next to her. It's
well,
kind of funny.
she has that glare, that downward stare, like you take one step the wrong way and you're dead meat. I mean, she is no baloney,
Yeah, she
you
means
know.
business.
Yeah. And I'm amazed at that. And genuinely, in our seance situation, Bear Man for me is kind of the
He's a bit
bouncer.
of a mentor.
He is definitely, he
Yeah,
definitely is.
you know,
And
he has guided you through a lot of new metaphysic psychic
yeah,
happenings that have been going on for you.
yes, exactly. And I can tell you guys, I've been experiencing psychic things since I was a little girl. And this year, just since the beginning of January, today is February 27th that we're making this recording. And I can tell you that this year is profoundly more intense than any other year I've ever felt before. It's been ramping up, and I'm getting more and more information, and I'm getting more and more details, and I'm getting more widespread things are happening. Um, I feel stuff when I'm around people even more intensely than I normally do. And for me, I'm relieved and excited, because there's been such a depressed state because of everything that's happened in the last 5 years, or even the last 10 years, from financial things in our economy in the United States and political things. And it's been hard on a lot of people. On most people, there's been some type of distress, and that's very taxing. We need a break.
Yeah.
So I am very happy to share the spirit guide information with you all, because it's time. It's time to embrace some more peaceful spiritual things. And you don't have to go to a church. You don't have to practice anything special. This is just you and the energies that are around you for you. It doesn't have to be a big elaborate expanse. I mean, we were just at an event that Pagan Fire hosted, and it was the Fireside Moon Bazaar in Hillsboro. And Pagan Fire does these events a few times a year now, and they're wonderful. And we were just chatting with this wonderful, wonderful hoodoo lady, and she spotted Doug's spirit guides, and she was right on the nose.
Yeah.
Kate has an orange aura on his right, and Bobby's blue on the left. And if you
And
see
she saw it.
colors, yeah, if you see colors or you notice things on a person, it can be their energy, or it can also be their spirit guides. And that is amazing. We actually have this other energy around us all the time. We're full of energy. Our hearts make energy, our minds, our brains make energy. We're energetic creatures throughout our lives. Even our cells are made of electricity. We've got it all over us. It makes sense to me that we can see it or feel it. It totally makes sense. And I can say, I'm excited. I am so excited for this year, you guys. There's so
It's,
many wonderful things that are floating in, and it's loving. It's not yucky. It's not scary. It's exciting, and it's an increase of joy. It's an increase of peace. And boy, don't we need it. It's time. We need some good news and we need some wonderful things. Yeah, we're going to have some rough times during this
Yeah.
year,
It's
but we're
it's a
going
year
to,
of transition.
it truly, truly is.
Yeah.
Um,
But the outcome is going to be amazing.
Absolutely. The one thing that we all seem to hate is change, but it's the only thing that's genuinely constant. So you kind of have to make friends with change because your body's changing every day and the weather changes and you got to change your clothes. There's all this change. It's really not bad. We just want to be comfortable and happy, and you can. But wouldn't it be cool if you could connect with spirit guides that would help to affirm your decisions once in a while when you need it, or just to remind you that you are loved and you are surrounded by love and loving energies that are your team. They are there for you. You know, we've got Team Doug and Team Holly, and you have your team, and they're right there with you, and they love you. They just want you to have a successful incarnation in this life. And I think that's amazing. I think it's beautiful. And any chance that you have to connect with that, I think is a great one. I think it's totally wonderful. And some spirit guides, I have to tell you, look just like a regular person. They don't necessarily look like an animal or anything dramatic. They're very regular, and their love and intent for you is profoundly good.
Right. But
It's
they
all
don't. But apparently they don't. It's not required that they be humanoid.
correct.
You know.
Correct.
We know a couple of people who their spirit guides are cryptids.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that's an interesting subject. So could you have a Bigfoot as a spirit guide? Yes. Yes, you can. Could you have someone that has a fairy as a spirit guide energy? Absolutely, yes. Um, and I know that if you're uncomfortable talking about the paranormal, this might be a little too woo woo for you, so forgive me. Uh, but it's the light for me. There's animal spirit guides that can come alongside you, and you'll get a sense of it because the things that you're most attracted to are what comes close to you. You know, when you're really feeling connected to something, go with that. You know, when you were 5 years old, what did you love? Did you love cartoons? Did you love to play in the dirt? Did you love animals? Did you love to write? Did you love to draw? What did you love? Think about it and connect with that part of you, because that's part of what they do is they're connected to what is in your heart and soul and what moves you forward, what motivates you, what delights you, what makes you happy. These are things that they want you to stay focused on because they want you to be in the highest energy level possible. When we're depressed and angry, our energy level changes frequency, literally, and goes to a lower frequency. And unfortunately, like attracts like. So, guess what happens when you're bummed out and depressed and angry? Your energy stays low, and that becomes your surroundings. It's around you all the time, and you kind of stay there and can get stuck. When you focus on things at a higher vibration and a higher frequency, your mood changes, you feel better, you have better intentions, better thoughts, better ideas, happier motivations, happier feelings. It's a win-win.
Well, and also operating in a higher vibration also allows you better contact with your spirit guides.
Yeah, yeah. They fight through the noise in our brains. So while we're dealing, as I will say many times, and I'll keep repeating this, our brain function is likened to that of a drunken monkey. It's all over the map. It's hard to focus for most people because we have so much on our minds, and we in this technological boon that we are in this lifetime. There's a lot of noise. Pardon me. There's a lot of noise from TV, from our phone. There's just so much fast paced, rush, rush, rush all the time. Our brains and minds don't get a break. We're constantly inundated. And I notice, people pull their shoulders up and get tighter and tighter and tighter. It's because we're in defense mode. We're constantly protecting ourselves. And I want more people to sit back and put their shoulders down and just Breathe. We have this wonderful life ahead of us, and it's full of really good stuff. And it's our season, you guys. It's time. Good things are coming, and more good things are going to keep happening. And if you ever just want a reading and you just want to hear things about yourself, seek out a psychic, check them out. I have a psychic page on Facebook, and you're welcome to contact me. I currently have a little backlog for readings. I do not charge for my readings. I think it's great when people do that and they make a living at that. That's amazing. Um, that's not part of my life experience at this point in time. I'm just different that way, and that's okay. Um, I don't like anybody to tell me anything beforehand. So please don't start with a novel about everything that you need me to know. I don't want to know anything at all. Tell me zippo. Just contact me and send me your picture and let me know that you want a reading, and we'll go from there. Um, Honestly, I think that we've covered a lot of stuff about spirit guides and connecting with them,
Right.
but I feel like there's even more to talk about on that subject.
Yeah,
I
there
was,
probably is.
yeah,
Well,
just
one thing is that they want you to click like and subscribe and share the videos and like the
yes,
page.
that would be amazing. That would be
Your
amazing.
spirit guides would like you to do that.
Of course, we're joking. We would like you to do that. That would be amazing. Liking the video helps me, and sharing the video is amazing. And uh, just watching and listening is helpful. I love that. Thank you. I am so excited to get to talk to everyone and to share the stuff that I've known for years, because wow, I've gotten some cool information, and I feel like people would be happier if they knew what I know and what I see and what I hear. Um, I love everybody. I genuinely do. And I know that sounds loony, but I don't care, because I have learned from listening to souls for so many years. Um, we have so much in common. People have so much in common. We have no idea how not separate we are. Um, the life is that we have is a journey, and we're meant to share it with each other. We're not meant to be isolated in a way, and we're certainly not meant to be sad and unhappy. Uh, so I encourage you all, have a wonderful day, have a wonderful evening. I'm so glad that you joined us, and please like and share. I'll ask one more time. And if there's a subject or story that you'd like me to cover on this podcast, please send me a message at Holly's, HOLLYS, Pandorium, PANDORIUM, at gmail.com. And let me know what you want to talk about, or ask me a question, and I'll do my best to answer it. And thank you for joining us tonight. This is me and Doug signing off, and we'll talk to you again soon.